Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm the inspirational Andy Murray. And remember, it's what's inside that counts.
And this is the news.
So, story number one, John Cena. Got a big scoop. The big scoop is that he's going to be at WrestleMania 35.
Thank God.
He's going to be wrestling at WrestleMania 35.
Who's going to be wrestling?
No idea.
Oh, right.
So it's not really that big a scoop. This comes from this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter. Good old Shagger Dave, he was running down the WrestleMania card, which, by the way, could have as many as 18
It's gone up. It's even more.
matches. Yeah, exactly. It's absolutely mental. The state of this card at the moment is absolutely absurd. One of those that has been penciled in by WWE is a singles match for Big Match John. But there's currently no word on who's going to face him. The company haven't even decided. It's obviously, 2.5 weeks to WrestleMania? It's not far away at all. They have nothing planned for a 16-time world champion, perhaps the biggest star still under contract with the company. This is kind of mental. I mean, there are options that they could do. R-Truth is probably the most obvious one. Truth was certainly teasing such things during his run as United States champion. I almost said Universal champion there. Imagine that. But it does look like Cena's going to be at WrestleMania and in a match. Who would you like to see him face?
Just any old goober, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think, going to my first WrestleMania, I think seeing John Cena is another thing I'd love to tick off the list. And I don't mind. You go to see the, what is it now, 7 moves he can do?
Yeah.
Something
8,
like that?
Maybe. I
Well,
don't know.
technically, what was the 6 move he's doing was the lightning fist, isn't it? So 6 moves. That's all you go for, so I don't care. Kurt Hawkins, have Kurt Hawkins come out. I'm going to finally break my streak. Out comes John Cena, smashes through in 2
you're not,
minutes.
mate. That'd be really good. So, it's my first WrestleMania as well. I'm really looking forward to it. I've never seen John Cena live. I like John Cena a lot. I just want to see him do his stupid, bloody fist thing and come out with a crap hair. And I love John Cena. He's such a big, goofy dork. But yeah, R-Truth probably makes the most sense. He could beat him in like 3 or 4 minutes. You wouldn't need to add too much runtime to what might be like a 24-hour show at this point. Either way, it's just good to know that Cena will be there. He's too big a name to really miss out. It's just kind of odd that they haven't built anything already. So thank you, Shagger Dave, for the confirmation.
It's like they haven't realised that WrestleMania is that close and they're suddenly on, oh bloody hell, we need Cena. Right, moving on, a development with Matt Hardy to tell you about now. Apparently, he is hoping that WWE will allow him to alter his character somewhat. And what I mean by that is he's hoping to play sort of all of his characters in one go.
Once, yeah.
We all know various versions of Matt. There is, of course, Woken Matt Hardy. There's Big Money Matt that he's just been redoing on his social media. There's V1 Matt Hardy.
Hardy Boy Matt Hardy.
Hardy Boy Matt Hardy. String Vest Matt Hardy. Little bit chubby Matt Hardy.
Really annoyed that Edge has slept with my girlfriend Matt Hardy. There's all kinds.
All kinds. And now apparently he wants to play different versions of himself. They want to, what is it, multifaceted? Is that what I'm going for?
He's called himself something like that, or multifacetous, which isn't a word, but he might have said that. It's Matt Hardy. He just makes loads of crap up. This is quite interesting because the Hardy Boys, of course, have just returned to SmackDown, like in their conventional form. Matt is even wearing ring gear from like 2001. It's really kind of crazy that we're already talking about him changing character, but I guess the plan for them was probably always maybe like a short-term program with the Usos or something like that. It'd be kind of cool to see him mix it up. He's such a creative guy, he's such a charismatic guy that he can probably play loads of different things at once, but there's every chance that this is just Matt fanning around on social media. He has a habit of doing this. He has spent the past month, for example, talking about retiring and like leaving when his contract expires, and then signing a new one and re-debuting as a Hardy Boy. He loves doing this. He loves annoying people. But my goodness, I would love to see Big Money Matt in WWE.
V1 Matt, oh.
Like, it's just, there's so many fun characters from his back catalogue.
He's probably brought back Big Money Matt because he signed that new contract, which apparently got a massive boost in wages.
Like, it was such a fun character, particularly when he was doing it in Ring of Honor back in the day, because he was like the sports entertainment guy coming in, big money, blah, blah, blah. I'm not as good a wrestler as you, but I'm a bigger star than all of you. Like, he was hanging out in his kitchen, cutting promos, throwing like $1 bills around the place. It was really good stuff, and I would like to see more creativity from the big man.
Yeah, big thumbs up from us.
Indeed. So, AEW, they've signed another bloody wrestler, haven't they? So
every
yesterday,
single day.
I know. Yesterday we reported that they signed Sadie Gibbs, bringing the women's division up to 9 wrestlers. Well, guess what? It's up to 10 now, because they've added former Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion Allie, who used to wrestle on the independent circuit as Cherry Bomb. So she's been with Impact for a number of years. PW Insider are reporting that they chose not to renew her contract, not because they don't think she's good enough, because she clearly is, but because they just want to refresh their roster. AEW have jumped on that immediately. So this was confirmed on yesterday's Road to Double or Nothing video, and then Allie followed it up with a social media post, which I assume our lovely editor will put on the screen. This is a really good signing. She's a tremendous babyface. She's immediately one of the bigger names in the division. She can wrestle. She's really multifaceted. She's recently done an angle where she turns into a weird demon hunter thing and goes all dark and kind of goth. It's a really good signing. She's 31. She's been wrestling since 2005, I think. She's really, really good. What do you think of this?
I really like it, and I know people are going to moan that we're banging on about more AEW signings, but I do like the fact that AEW aren't just waiting around and trying to pick up WWE's cast-offs. They're going out there and they're actively pursuing talent. And like you say there, when her contract wasn't going to be renewed, they realised that she would be an excellent addition. I believe she will be for AEW.
Yeah, she will. Like, the thing with AEW is they obviously want to push women's wrestling. They've said this several times. They want to get in a position where they're able to pay the women, if they main event, will earn the same money as your Kenny Omegas and Chris Jerichos if they main event. Fantastic stuff. The problem is that so many great women's wrestlers have been snapped up by WWE that there really aren't that many left out there. So when a talent like Allie comes up, it really is a no-brainer to just grab her. Same one like when Tessa Blanchard's contract comes up next year, WWE and TNA Impact will be falling over themselves to sign her. And there are other examples, Taya Valkyrie, people like that, Rosemary, who's, I believe, just signed a new Impact deal, but will be a hot commodity when her deal comes up. If you're like a decent to good women's wrestler, you are going to be in heavy demand. If you're a great women's wrestler, you might become a millionaire with this new situation in wrestling. It's really exciting.
Speaking of female wrestlers, another news story to update you on now. Undisputed Era are looking to add another member, allegedly, to their stable.
This is really weird, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And that extra member being added to Undisputed Era is Marina Shafir.
Yeah.
I wonder why that might be.
Yeah, she doesn't have a link to any particular Undisputed Era member, does she? So this is according
Hi, Roderick Strong.
Hi, Roddy. This is according to Dave in the Wrestling Observer. So the exact sentence that he used is that the thought within WWE is that Marina Shafir would add a little bit of sizzle to the Undisputed Era.
Only Dave Meltzer.
Dave Meltzer is like 56 years old and he's saying a little bit of sizzle to the Undisputed Era. Who knows? But the train of thought here is that if Shayna Baszler gets called up, they may split off the remaining horsewomen. Shafir would go to the Undisputed Era and Jessamine Duke would enjoy some kind of singles push. I don't really know what to make of this, to be honest, because the horsewomen, the other two, are so green. They have so much work still to do. Would she fit well in Undisputed, do you think? I mean, she's obviously married to Roddy.
She would fit well in Undisputed Era, because obviously she must be associated with them very regularly, obviously being the other half of Roderick Strong. I don't know whether I want to see it, though, because I just love the way the Undisputed Era are and have been since Roderick Strong joined them. And Adam Cole hopefully might be NXT champion soon.
Yeah, I don't really know if they need another member. Like, the stable's great. We all love it. They get over and stuff, but I don't know, man. Maybe it would be a good experience. Like, Shafir has been playing kind of a similar character. Like, there are subtle notes in her work where she's a kind of the more obnoxious personality on air of the horsewoman, and she kind of struts around and stuff and acts all cocky, whereas Duke is presenting more like a badass, so maybe she would fit in well. Either way, it'd be good to see her get the opportunity at least.
I'll allow it if we have Undisputed Era holding all the gold. North American Championship, NXT Championship, Tag Team Championship, and of course Women's Championship. That is, I'm okay with that.
Indeed. And one guy who won't be joining the Undisputed Era, what a segue.
Rule this guy out right now.
Jim Ross. Jim Ross. So obviously he's leaving WWE at the end of the month. We've already reported on that. There has been lots of speculation that he will go to AEW, and now the man himself has confirmed that there have been talks. So I have got an exact quote from you here. He recently was interviewed by Outside the Lines on ESPN. He was asked directly about AEW, and he said, and I quote, "I don't know, we're talking. I just haven't signed anything yet. My people and their people are doing their thing. The only agent I grew up knowing was a State Farm agent in Oklahoma." I have no idea what that means. "I got a real agent now, man." So they're working on it.
By God.
Sounds like it's probably a done deal.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Look, like we said when we were reporting on him leaving WWE and potentially going to AEW the first time, he is a recognisable name for the casual fans. And if you want to draw them into your new product, as much as I think maybe his best years are behind him, he is still a very solid pair of hands and a legend of the business.
I think a lot of lapsed fans, people who maybe are fed up with WWE, still associate Jim Ross with the glory days and like their childhood and how they came up in wrestling, how they remember it, and that a lot of them might look at this and go, oh man, Jim Ross is commentating on this, I'm going to check this out. It's kind of like what we spoke about with the WCW properties yesterday. If it brings eyes to the product, it's a good thing. And, you know, Cody and that, they know what they're doing. They'll build a smart announce team around Mr. Ross, and hopefully this will be a mutually beneficial relationship if they agree.
Let's move on to your Twitter questions today then, at WhatCulture WWE if you want to send them to us. We start with a question from Viva Swan, I hope I've got that right, who says, how about we get Ricochet and Black to win both tag team titles and have a unified title like for the women?
It might make sense, you know. It really might make sense because that Raw division is pathetic. I'm not against that at all. I think that might be a smart move. It would combine there's some phenomenal tag teams in WWE, really good. The problem is they are spread a little bit too thin. Like most of the quality teams, with all due respect to those Raw teams, are on SmackDown. You've got the Usos, you got the Bar, you got the New Day, you got Sanity, I guess, if you're into them. It's a weird situation. The belts are never really treated with the respect we'd like. At WrestleMania, we have no idea what the tag title matches are actually even going to be if they're even on the card.
We booked them together.
Yeah, like it's just a mess. I think that Ricochet and Black, it's a weird pairing for me. Like I don't understand. Like when these guys are hanging out in the locker room, what are they talking about? Like when they go to when they go to Applebee's for a post-fight meal, are they Aleister Black sitting there talking about black metal. Ricochet's probably doing a flip off the table. It's a weird dynamic. But hey, like if you want to give them the rub, that's the way to do it. Sorry, I've spoken a lot there, mate.
No, I completely agree. I'm not sure they should win the tag titles, to be perfectly honest. I think they should be used up until Mania, big spots at WrestleMania, don't win whatever belts they're challenging for, and then hopefully go on to some singles pushes post-WrestleMania, because that's when they need them. Ricochet being chucked into the Money in the Bank, and Aleister Black being chucked into the Money in the Bank ladder match makes complete sense to me. Not necessarily winning it, but to answer the question more about the tag team belts, I agree. I think, as you said, it's thin on the ground. You've got some excellent tag teams. Look, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable should be doing single stuff. We all know that. Bobby Roode should be a heel. Chad Gable should be the whitest of white meat baby faces. Yeah. He's fantastic. But when you look at the guys like The Revival, the Usos, all the guys you mentioned there, they're great, but there's not enough of them, and WWE aren't going to make any more without just shoving people like Rusev and Shinsuke together. Bryson asks our next question, says, what do you guys think of the idea of Batista proving his point of Triple H being insecure by bringing out or referencing wrestlers he screwed over, such as RVD, Scott Steiner, Kane, Chris Jericho, Booker T, etc. And WWE's name redacted, of course.
Of course. Interesting idea. Like, I mean, with the direction they're going, with the more reality-based stuff, all the Ronda Rousey, the verbiage in that feud with Becky Lynch that we've been very critical of on this channel, it's certainly something I could see them doing. The question for me would be whether or not you could flip that into something that's more storyline-based. So you could talk about the Authority holding Daniel Bryan back, stuff like that, as opposed to kayfabe breaking backstage politics and stuff. That I'm not a fan of that stuff. I think it's Russo-esque. I think that it just tears everything down, and it makes, like, the last thing WWE should be doing is telling people that what you're watching isn't real, it's fake. Of course, we all know that, but when you tell people that, what's the point? You can't suspend your disbelief anymore. The whole thing's pointless. So I don't like the kayfabe busting stuff. A lot of people do. If they can work it into more of a storyline based thing, that would work for me.
I like a pinch of kayfabe breaking with my wrestling, but not in this feud. You're trying to paint Triple H as the babyface, I'm fairly certain in this scenario. Yes. He's fighting for the honour of Ric Flair. If you bring in the same reason why they haven't mentioned Batista's comeback in, 2014, 2015?
Yes.
Blue-Tista, you know what I'm talking about. The reason why they haven't mentioned that is because he was kind of screwed over by Triple H and they just booked it horribly, and it was all WWE's fault, it wasn't Batista's fault. The reason why they're sticking with you quit in 2010 is because they want to paint Batista as the heel, Triple H is the good guy, and as much as it would back up Batista's point, and he's making valid points, that's not what he wants.
You didn't spit enough there,
No, I didn't spit enough, and anywhere near enough. I don't think they're going to do that, but it would make sense if they were going to go down that more real storyline.
It fits in.
Yes. Final question comes from Sajadali, I'm going to go with. Again, sorry if I got your name wrong. Don't you think this year's Andre the Giant Battle Royal is going to be stacked? We already have Strowman. We're probably going to get Owens, Ali, The Bar, Shinsuke, Rusev, Sanity, The Club.
Every tag team.
One half of the AOP. Yeah. all the names who haven't got anything to do right now.
Everybody.
It is going to be fairly stacked this year. It's not going to be a goober battle
Oh,
royal.
God, it's going to be absolutely mental. Like, Braun, for goodness sake, proudly announcing on Raw that he's going to be in this match. It's crazy. You'll get all these huge names. You will get a couple of goobers. Remember when Chan Bing was in it the other year? That was interesting stuff. Who do they bring up from NXT this year? Oh, the Boogs. The Boogs.
Please, I'll sit through 24 matches at WrestleMania if I get 10 seconds of the Boogs cruise.
Yes, absolutely. I could absolutely see them doing that. That'd be fun.
You've ruined WrestleMania. You know when someone tells you about something, you go, oh my God, that's going to happen. If it doesn't happen now, my first WrestleMania is ruined.
It is over. I'm sorry, brother.
Yeah, the Boogs is a great.
Either way, there's going to be 50 people in that ring. It's going to be a bloody mess.
Right, let's move on to today's and finally, and because it's Friday, it's going to be something that wastes your time for the entire day. WWE have released a new gallery of WWE superstars when they were fans, and it is about 40 pictures long. It's well worth checking out at WWE.com because there are some classic images. There are the obvious ones. There's your Baileys, there's your Zack Ryders. Some of them are meeting wrestlers, some of them are looking like, who is it? Kurt Hawkins, looking like a complete loser with all of his action figures, as much as we've got them all behind us. We can't really comment. But my favourite one by far is Mr. Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, the big, flagship guy for WWE, the heartthrob. This is what he looked like when he was younger.
Wow. Okay.
There he is.
Hanging out with
with a cardboard cutout that he's probably been practicing kissing on of Trish Stratus. Look at him there.
Oh, I love Roman, man. He's like, everything I hear about this guy behind the scenes just makes me like him even more. And that's another one.
But go and check that out, WWE.com. Look, we've all got embarrassing photos when we were growing up of ourselves dressing as or fawning over wrestlers. So feel free to send them to us on Twitter, by the way, at WhatCultureWWE, where you can send us your Twitter questions, and you can tweet at us, you can tweet him at
Andy H. Murray.
You can tweet me at Adam Wilborn. As I said, you can follow us all at WhatCultureWWE. Let us know your thoughts on Roman Reigns and his Trish Stratus cutout, and all of today's news stories in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.